Hello and welcome to episode 16 in the Intro to Python series. We are going to start working with sets. So just for an example, we'll type our x variable out here and we'll just do a set. Again, it's comma separated values here. If you ever hear like the term CSV, like a CSV file, it's comma separated values. So just know that. That's what it stands for. But you see that we are using curly brackets here. We are not using the parentheses or rounded brackets of a tuple, and we are not using the square brackets of a list. So this is just another data type in Python, and you see that it has just the single value here before the comma, and that's important for when we get into dictionaries. So what is a set useful for? It's just another one of the four data types. It's a collection. It is unordered, it's unchangeable kind of. So set items are unchangeable. You can remove items and add new items. You just can't modify the existing item. And they are unindexed. So keep that in mind. If you try to search for a set, you're going to have a hard time searching if it's just for the index or something. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate that really quick. But just to show you what a set is, we'll do this and print it off. Now if we do x of 0, we're looking for the index here. You see that it is not, it's returning an error. It's not giving us the value of 1 like you might expect. So just remember that if you're dealing with a set, do not search for anything by the index. Also, when I say that sets are unordered, that means that you can't be sure in which order the items will appear. I don't know if you caught it when I ran it, but notice that it's 3, 1, 2. So there it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 2, 1, 3, sorry, twice. So you see that it's even changing up the order on us every time I run it here. Set items, like I said, are unchangeable, so we can't change them once the set has been created. But you can remove items and add new items. Sets do not allow duplicates. So this is one of the benefits of a set, if you were wondering, is that you can actually make something into a set if you want to remove duplicate values. So if we have 3 here and we have 3 again, save it, execute, you can see that we're only getting back 3 things. So if you are scraping a data set or a website or whatever and you have a bunch of duplicate values, you're able to just convert those into a set and remove the duplicates that way. That's one way to remove duplicates. We are able to get the length of a set, which we know is just the len, and we will pass in the set as our argument here. So just like lists, just like tuples, we're able to get the length here. And you see it says 3, even though it has 4 items. So remember, it's getting rid of the duplicate values and then telling us the length minus that duplicate value. They can, just like tuples and lists, you can have any kind of a data type in here. So we will just make a y set, and we will give y a bunch of values here. So we'll do 1, true, and 2.2. Save, print, and you see that we get those values. Now the interesting part is it didn't show the true, right? So it just ignored true. So the reason for that is because we have 1. And remember that sometimes 1 is true and 0 is false. So if we change this integer to 10 and save, we should get back what we're looking for. So here we have 1, the string. We have true, the boolean. We have our integer of 10. And we have 2.2, our float. So again, if we change that back to 1 and we run it, we're no longer seeing true. If we change it to 0, run it, we are getting true. If we change this to false, save it, run, you're seeing that we're not getting false. So just always keep that in mind. Like a set considers this to evaluate to false, and it considers 1 to evaluate to true. A set will not let duplicate values occur. So when it thinks that this is false and that 1 is true, and we're putting in false and true again, it filters them out. So if we take it and we change the order here, and then we print it, you see that we're getting the false because it's evaluating false first, and then it's removing the duplicate value of 0. So even though they're unordered, that's how it's iterating before it outputs. So just know that it's doing that. Now, just like we do with everything else, we are going to use the type function and see what kind of output we get. Save, and you see that we're getting an object with the class of set again for the data type. And like lists, like tuples, we also have a constructor for sets. And again, remember that came in handy when we were converting a tuple to a list so that we could edit it and then turn it back into a tuple for our output. So if we have a set that we want to assign, we can do our variable name again. We'll just use X, but you can name variables anything that's appropriate. And remember that you want the double curved brackets, rounded brackets, double round brackets when you're executing this, because this is an argument in here, and then you're passing in what you want inside of the set into the argument. So that is why it's not the curly brackets like a set would have, because we're passing this into an argument to create a set using a constructor. And then we are just printing X, our set, save, print, and you see that it does have the curly brackets down here. It did create a set just like it would a list or a tuple. They're all the same syntax. So that's the end of episode 16. Thank you for tuning in. And if any of this is confusing, like always, just leave a comment or message me and I will answer it for you.